Olá pessoal, tudo bem? Professor Gustavo Rezende por aqui para mais um vídeo e hoje um vídeo muito especial. Por quê? Eu tenho aqui ao meu lado uma pessoa para lá de especial que esteve conosco no Congresso Brasileiro de Higiene Ocupacional, que ocorreu agora nesse finalzinho do mês de agosto, e eu aproveitei o ensejo para trazê-la até aqui para falar um pouco sobre higiene ocupacional com vocês, ok? Então eu tenho o prazer de receber aqui comigo Mary Cameron. A Mary, ela trabalha no Reino Unido como higienista ocupacional sênior na Hygiene Partners, lá na Inglaterra, e também ela faz parte do BOHS, do British Occupational Hygiene Society. Então é bem legal ter uma pessoa assim com essa expertise, com essa experiência aqui no Brasil, participando do meu canal aqui para falar um pouco sobre a HO, ok? Eu vou fazer essa entrevista em inglês com ela, pessoal, e aí o vídeo vai estar aqui com as legendas em português para vocês poderem acompanhar, beleza? Então, bora lá, vamos começar com a nossa entrevista. Hello, Mary. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, and I'm pretty happy to have you here on my YouTube channel.
Oh,
yes,
thank you for having me.
it's a pleasure. Yes, to talk to my audience there. Okay, Mary. First of all, you could talk about yourself a little bit. I told to my audience you have been working as a senior occupational hygienist, but please tell me more about your experience, your background, please.
Sure. Oh gosh, I've been doing occupational hygiene for over 10 years, I think about 11 years, and been absolutely everywhere. You name it, I've probably been there. Foundries, bakeries, train maintenance depots, munition sites, just absolutely. Occupational hygiene takes you everywhere. So I've had a lot of experience in different industries, doing everything under the sun: airborne monitoring, noise, vibration, lighting, indoor air quality, everything.
Nice. And enjoying this opportunity, could you talk more about BOHS and what we have been doing there? It's very important to people know more about this as well.
Okay, yes. So I've been involved with the BOHS in many ways for quite some time. Currently I'm one of the board members, but I've also been a part of organizing meetings. So recently, after the pandemic, they've been more online, which is one of the webinars you did for us. So
exactly.
Go on the BOHS YouTube channel and check out Gustavo's webinar from a little while ago. There you go. So yes, I'll help organize meetings, act as a mentor. I probably do some other stuff I've forgotten about, but yes, very involved with the OHS.
Yeah. Cool. And if you want to know more about BOHS, I'm going to put the link to access the BOHS website, yes, here in the description of this video. Okay, guys? Mary, so let's get started with some questions that I wrote down here. And we are trying to explore your expertise, your knowledge, okay? And the first one is, in your opinion, what are the main challenges in occupational hygiene? Yeah.
Oh, where to start, right? I don't know. I'd say probably challenge number one is just getting people interested in the topic. There just aren't enough of us in the country. You think of how much industry is out there versus how many hygienists are out there, and then of the group of occupational hygienists who we do have, there's an even smaller group who are certified or chartered to do that work. So we're very we're like unicorns. You know, it's very hard. So just trying to get like we call them STEM graduates, so science, technology, engineering, mathematics, STEM. Those types of students, really trying to reach out to them and say, what about occupational hygiene? You know, it's science and it's protecting people's health. It's the best job in the world.
Exactly.
So
it's very important. It's
very important. Yes. So we're trying to get more interest in that. So that's probably challenge number one, is just getting that like influx of people interested. And then challenge number 2 is when they are in, their training course and they're going through the modules, to make sure their learning is being overseen appropriately. So the modules that we sit 6 modules over the course of 3 or more years. That's just one part of competency. That's just the training side, but showing that they have, a good range of experience, that they know how to apply their learning, they've developed their skills. These are the things that make up competency. And so if I've ever been sort of overseeing somebody's journey in their occupational hygiene learning, I say, okay, that's great, you sat your course, but make sure you now take that learning, go out and apply it and keep a record of it. We have to keep a portfolio, we call it a PLP, personal learning portfolio, of all of our experience and how we applied that skill. So, but that's really, really important to make sure you're ensuring that your competency is developing appropriately and you're not just sitting the courses and thinking that that's enough. It's not enough to just sit the courses.
Yeah.
You have to actually go out there and live it and learn it. That's hard.
Yes. We have to associate experience with knowledge, yes, and go to the field and try to put our efforts, yes, to develop projects and do a great job. Yeah, so it's very important. And Mary, I was thinking about another situation here in Brazil. Unfortunately, we have a kind of financial compensation to exposure people for some hazards. Yeah, we talked about this on Sunday. And what do you think about this? Because, yeah, it's something very difficult, very hard to change in Brazil, because people are very usually to, get this kind of money of cash to be exposure to chemical hazards or to be exposure to noise or biological hazards in the workplace, and that you try to call it off. It's very difficult, because no, it's a part of my salary. I've been getting this money for a while, and suddenly you say, oh, you develop a control measure in my job, in my work area, and suddenly I won't receive this money anymore. And what do you think about this position, this politics in Brazil?
Yeah.
And is it do you know in Europe or in other countries something similar?
This has actually blown my mind. I've not heard of this sort of thing before, so I'm not sure. I mean, you understand, everybody knows that it needs to change. It's not a great way of going about it, right? But I'm not sure how you guys are going to do that, because the workers are so used to getting this, I would call it danger money.
It's a great expression to use.
It's
danger money. Yes.
Yeah, and
perfect definition, man.
Yeah, right. And now that the expectation's there, that's going to be quite hard to go back on that and put into the controls. But it doesn't happen in the UK, so you go to work and the work is safe, the work is healthy, that's the expectation. There's no money involved in that. The money involved is the employer purchasing good controls, so extraction systems, or buying tools that are quieter, smoother, maybe more expensive, but still they put that money into the investment to prevent the ill health in the first place. But yes, when we were talking about this at lunch the other day, our colleague made a good point, actually, that so in England it's the NHS, right? So you get free health care for absolutely everything. So it's in our best interest to not make people sick, because if they did get sick, the NHS would have to pick up the bill, and it would be quite crippling to the country. So, but here I kind of understand that maybe, I'm still trying to understand fully how your healthcare works, because I think there is some public healthcare, but there's also, you might have to pay private for some of it. Is that right?
Yes, exactly. We have public healthcare. However, if you want to get access a good service, maybe you have to pay for it.
Yeah.
You have to pay for a private healthcare system to have a medical appointment, for example, or in an emergency situation, for example.
Right. Okay. So that's maybe making a little bit more sense, because when we were talking about this over lunch the other day, a point was made that this danger money that the Brazilian workers are getting would be needed to pay for their health care if they did get ill. Maybe I'm not sure how much of that bill will be picked up by your public health care and how much of that bill will be picked up by the person, by the private health care. So I wonder if it's more of a matter of money and like, you need that money to pay for your illness later in life. That's my current understanding, but I need to understand how your healthcare works maybe a little bit better. But yes, definitely in England, in Britain, we don't want to make people sick.
Yeah.
Ever, and just
it's the main goal, yeah.
Yeah, we don't want
to
cripple the NHS, so that's it. But it's you would definitely put that money into the controls and prevention measures before anything. So, but I do I sympathize for your situation, because like our workers in the UK never expected the danger money. If they're ever exposed to noise or whatever, they're not expecting anything other than good health. But for your workers, they're expecting money.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I'll keep my eye on Brazil. Interested to see how this works. Yeah. Yeah,
because to be honest, I don't know any country that do the same. Yes, because there is no sense. I can understand it. We pay to get sick. To be sick. So it's very hard. And for anyone from abroad, it's a hard issue to understand how we have been doing it in Brazil.
Yeah, I'd like to see how it all started. Who thought
it's a long story.
Who thought this up? I don't know.
Okay. And well, I could ask a lot of questions here for you, but I have just one, Mary. What do you think? Because here in Brazil, maybe I can introduce a little bit about this subject. People think, occupational hygiene is just to measure. Yes, you have to measure. So we have been using noise dosimeter, sample pumps, vibration monitors, heat monitors to measure. But after you finish this, we can design a strategy. We can have an action plan to fix some situation or to fix some occupational exposure in the workplace. So my question is, what do you think that occupational hygiene is just about measuring, or we can go deeper and think about new ideas?
Yeah, so somebody who goes out and just takes samples, that's not an occupational hygienist, that's a pump jockey. So we've been calling them cowboys.
Cowboys,
so
yeah.
Either way,
it's a new expression for me, a new definition for me. Cowboys.
They get their pumps out. They
go, just pumps. Simple measuring.
It's like So, but we have the same sort of problem in the UK as well. There's quite a few companies out there just sample. But we do have a strategy laid out. So if you look at HSC's document, HSG 173, that's our monitoring strategy, and it walks you through the steps how to go about your assessment. So start with a site walkthrough, an investigation, and then if you need to figure out more, do some qualitative measures. Get your dust lamp out. Get your fake smoke machine out and look at the extraction and the flow and look at the dust clouds and these sorts of things. So, and if that still wasn't enough to decide whether or not it's a in or out of control situation, then perhaps you want to think about sampling. But it's not until you get way down here on strategy that you actually want to think about sampling. And this is how the regulations are written as well. So for vibration regulations and noise, nowhere in it does it say you must measure. It says measure if necessary. So like my talk for this week at the conference, it was saying about for hand or vibration, if you can find your magnitude data somewhere else and it's from a reliable source, then great. But if that's not a reliable data, then yes, measure. It's the same for noise and air and all sorts like that. So yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite phone calls I ever get is when a client calls me up and just says, come to site, we don't need samples, just do consultancy, just walk around. Yes, cool.
Yeah.
I just literally come armed with, I call it my microfogger, it's my little fake smoke machine and my desk lamp, and that's like, that's how I can assess the workplace, which is those tools. Normally, I mean, sometimes, yes, you do need to take samples. So how I try to describe this is like, if you do take samples, it's for when you don't know whether or not you're in or out of control. So we're the gray area. Like over here, black is like, it's a bad situation, high exposure. So just go and do something about it. Put controls in. You don't need a sample. You already know it's a bad situation. Fix it. And then over here, like in the white, no obvious exposure concerns. You know, it's very likely to be a low risk task going on here. Controls are looking good. Do you really need to sample because you feel already sure that that's a low risk situation? So black, white, right? Those are obvious. Sampling is for the gray. Exactly. You know what I mean? Sampling is for like if it's not obvious either way and you just need that more information to fuel the risk assessment to decide the controls, then go ahead and take a sample. You know? But we don't want to just go sampling. There's steps.
Yeah. It's a part of the process, but it's not all the process. Yeah.
Exactly.
There's a huge difference
I find
between these concepts.
It's a bit of like a crutch, maybe for some people. They think it's comfortable to take a sample. It's no sample. But when you go home then and write your report, those sampling results are actually quite a small part of the story. That's probably 5% of your report. It's just this little mention, oh yeah, here's something about the sample results. The other 95% of your report should just be pure consultancy and observations and the detective work, essentially. Yeah. And that's the hard message to get across sometimes. So, yeah.
Great. Mary, as I said, I could continue asking a lot of questions for you, but we have to finish our talk show. I could say talk show, okay? But it's not, it's a kind of interview, but I'm pretty glad and pretty happy to have you here with us. And to be honest, you are my first abroad guest here on my YouTube channel. Yeah, maybe. In the future, I want to bring more people here to have this different kind of perspective about occupational hygiene. Yes, but thank you so much for your attention to be here with us. And now, just to finish this video, pessoal, se você gostou desse vídeo, se você gostou dessa entrevista com a Mary, a gente tem muito mais conteúdo no curso do Higienista, que é o meu curso de higiene ocupacional que forma profissionais muito bem preparados para a área de HO. Nós temos aulas lá gravadas com Jerome Lavru, nós temos a participação também agora da Mary, que ela vai gravar uma palestra com a gente, e nós teremos também uma outra entrevista lá gravada com a Mary, falando um pouquinho mais de dicas de higiene ocupacional. Mas para você que está acompanhando aqui esse conteúdo no YouTube, eu peço que você deixe o seu like, o seu comentário. Se você não é inscrito, se inscreva aqui no canal para ficar ali ligado nas nossas próximas novidades, ok? Mary, thank you so much. Okay.
Obrigada. I learned a word.
Yeah. And I hope you could be here again soon. Okay?
Oh, I want to. Yes.
Nice.
It's been my pleasure, my honor to be here. Thank you very much.
Great. Pessoal, muito obrigado pela atenção de vocês e até a próxima. Tchau, tchau.